On this episode of the Contagious Influencers of America podcast, actor, producer Kevin Sorbo joins us for his latest movie, Miracle in East Texas.
These are the movies people always stop me and say, I want more movies like God's Not Dead and What If? Soul Surfer. And I go, well, this is one right here, so please support it.
Hey, this is David Sams, and this is CIA, Contagious Influencers of America, from the producers of Keep the Faith. I have a really good friend on today, Kevin Sorbo. Kevin, of course, is a great filmmaker, a wonderful actor. You probably remember him from the legendary role that he played on TV, Hercules. As a matter of fact, that series, I believe, was the #1 global syndicated series of all time, which is absolutely amazing. And of course, Kevin has done many films since then. And who could forget that iconic role that he played in the movie God's Not Dead, one that we all love. He and his wife, Sam, have something new up their sleeve. This is something that's sort of a departure because it's a comedy. It's a tall tale of something that happened in East Texas in the 1930s. And that's why it's called Miracle in East Texas. Get it? It all adds up. Well, this is really a cool picture because, number one, it's a family picture. And it has those elements of hope and miracles and redemption. And it's a lot of fun. So this is all about, it takes place in the 30s. And it's all about the biggest, the largest, the craziest oil strike in the history of the globe. So let's take a look at it, and then I'll be back with my friend Kevin Sorbo.
So this is Texas.
Very flat. I just believe the hand of Providence has been guiding our every step. We're going to hit oil right here on your plate.
Doc Boyd and Dad.
While they weren't much good at actually finding or drilling for oil, they both possessed an unusual facility for convincing people that they could do just that.
Oil! I've never felt it so strong in all my life.
Widows were the mother's milk of the petroleum hustle.
Love is not time's fool.
And now that they had a well, it was time to hit every widow they could find in a 3-county radius.
It's well. We can't bring it in. We've already sold close to 500%.
Yeah, so?
You can only have 100% of anything. I just wanted to be square with you because I care for you, man. Give you back the $1,000 I took.
That you swindled from other widows. I don't want you here. I want you out of my house.
We gotta take what we got and get it as far away from Texas as we can get.
You want me to walk away from it?
We're crooks. We've conned all those old ladies.
Yeah, we con those old ladies because that's what we do. I'm an oil man.
Praise Jesus in all his glory.
Lotharios.
He's talking about you.
True hand-to-God miracle is what it is.
That's the gospel truth.
Leave the rest up to Jesus! God's own bounty.
Oil.
Black gold.
Amen. Amen.
Hey, my friend, how you doing?
Pretty good. Busy time right now, which is good. Now I got the movie, I got the book, and I've got 4 of the movies in post-production. I've got a couple lined up that we just got waivers to shoot, so it's all good.
Waivers are good.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been, you know what? You may be one of the few people who have 20 movies in theaters at the same time if this keeps up.
That's crazy.
I know, it's crazy.
You know, but I'm all for the strike. I get the AI thing. I get it. You know, put me in a movie with I don't know, Marilyn Monroe would be great, but you know, to not pay her estate and to pay me, I mean, that's just silly. I mean, it's crazy what they're trying to get away with right now. It makes no sense.
I know. You know, I I have kind of a tough way. You know, you think of back 100 or so years ago when the first guys came out with a car. All the people that owned horses must have been really ticked off.
Yeah.
You know, and it's always that transition period that we go through. I remember years ago there was this big fight in the movie business about when digital replaced 35 millimeter projectors. It's like, who's going to pay for it? And there was this big issue. It seems like we go through this all the time, but this impacts a lot of livelihoods and a lot of folks that are.
Well, David, if you remember when all of a sudden in New York and LA, when they were banned smoking in restaurants, all these restaurants, well, you're going to kill our business. Business went up.
Right.
Things got better. It's these knee-jerk reactions, you know.
It really ticked me off, though, when I would go to New York and I'd have a hard time finding a place to smoke a cigar. And then they they tried to get rid of, in Santa Monica, you can't like walk on a sidewalk and smoke a cigar. So it's like, and somewhere it gets crazy. But I know.
Why? But if you want to take a leak or take a dump on the sidewalk, that's okay. Welcome to California. It's like, I know you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, hence you move across the country to Florida. So,
oh, I love it here. It feels a good move.
So was it worth giving up earthquakes for hurricanes?
It's all right. I can deal with that with the hurricane. I got plenty of warning.
This is true. This is true. How's your beautiful and brilliant wife doing?
She's fantastic. She's actually in Paris right now with my 17-year-old daughter. They're looking at some art schools she might want to attend. She's quite an artist, and she wants to learn French. And Sam's been sort of teaching her because Sam speaks 5 languages. I don't know if you knew that, but she's got a little gift for languages.
So let me ask you this: and how many languages do you speak?
A little bit of English, but not. I don't know what a hanging preposition is.
So when you two get into an argument, does she ever switch over to language 2, 3, 4, or 5?
Oh God, yeah, it just drives me crazy. I don't win. I don't win any argument. Trust me.
So this movie you made together. First of all, this is something that you guys worked on for some time, and how did you decide to do this particular project?
Well, I'm a big fan of Dan Gordon, and Dan Gordon came in and did a rewrite on Sam's original script of Let There Be Light that was in theaters about 4.5 years ago for about 4 months and had a very good run, and we became very good friends with Dan, and he sent me the script. He originally wrote Miracle in Texas for Paul Newman and Robert Redford to do their third movie together. And it just never got together, never happened. And I think Redford is one who just made a decision. He said, I don't want to do any more movies with Paul. I love Paul, but I love the two that we did. I don't think we ever matched the greatness of the Sting and Butch Cassidy again. So it sat around for a long time, and Dan brought it to me, and I was able to find funding for it. And it's a wonderful true story set in 1930 about these 2 con men that would will widows out of their money on fake oil wells all through Oklahoma and Texas. They get to Kilgore, Texas. They strike oil, the largest oil find in the history of the world, by mistake. The trouble is, everywhere they went, they would sell 500% of the shares of each oil well that they would declare a dry hole and then move on. And now, of course, they got arrested because how do you pay back 500%? Because they stuck around to bring the oil in. And that while they're in jail, while they're going to court, every widow that they ripped off came down to watch these guys basically hang. But it's called The Miracle in Texas for a lot of different reasons. I'm not giving the story away when I say they struck oil because it's sort of in the title, but there's a lot more miracles that sort of happen along the way. It's not a faith-based film. It's won 10 film festivals from Best Romantic Comedy, Best Family Movie, Judge's Favorite Movie. It's a wonderful PG-rated movie. It's got a movie about love and hope, and sure, there's a little faith in there, redemption, laughter, things that Hollywood used to do. You remember that before they kind of went crazy and made the movies that they're making now. So this is a movie that families of all ages can go to. It's a wonderful movie. It's coming out October 29th and 30th. I got to give it a big push right now because Fathom is the one doing it. They're very helpful to independent movies like mine. But as you know, Fathom, you only get 2 days on a weekend. We need to fill these theaters up. We got 750 screens, but we need to fill them up now. Tickets are on sale now at sorbostudios.com. Go to sorbostudios.com and punch in your zip code. It'll show you what theater's near you. We're in 750 screens across the country. Buy tickets now. Let's fill these things up because these are the movies people always stop me and say, I want more movies like God's Not Dead and What If? Soul Surfer. I go, well, this is one right here. So please support it.
So what's it like you and Sam working together? Is that because she's got a strong head on her shoulders, and you've got that weapon behind your head. So I mean,
I do. That's for my last one. At 7 years on Hercules, that was given to me by my props department. It says, the journey may be over, but the legend lives on, which is very nice. But
there you go.
But we butt heads, but they're always good creative differences, and sometimes she's right, sometimes I'm right, and sometimes we agree. But it's a good thing because she's got, she has got a different eye. It's like bringing everybody that, they read a book, right? And they go, the book was so much better than the movie. If you brought them all in the set to direct, there'd be that many different opinions. So,
right.
You just got to get to a point where it's like, okay, you got to make the sacrifice in all things you do, especially in that world in the movies. I've talked to so many different editors, and they say you can edit forever. You just got to finally stop. Move on.
So did you guys ever get to the point where you're like where you just had a blowout day and you just come home and go, I'm never doing this again. That's it.
Oh yeah. I've said many times, I said, I don't want you on my set, but if Sam directed, it would take longer. I'll tell you that much. And the reason is she's very meticulous to detail. I mean, she'll move a leaf on a tree. It gets that point, and it's like, let it go, leave it alone. But I do like her eye. She's very creative, and she makes a really good editor. I got to say, she's very, very smart in the bay with our editors, working with them. Because I direct these movies. I send in as many of these things as I can, but I also have other things going on. And I'm very good at remembering things I shot and say, what happened to that's close up on this scene from what's his name, blah, blah, blah. And then, but Sam will go in there and just really, she's more of a doctor with things than a surgical type doctor. I'm like the Cliff Note version of though.
So what are you looking for now in a project? You said you're working on 4 other movies right now. How do you decide? How do you end up on a particular project? What is it? What are the ingredients that you must have for you to say, you know what, I want to give a year or 2 of my life to this?
It's kind of funny that you said that because it really depends on when I read a script. I may read a script and hate it, and then look at it 4 months later and go, why did I hate this script? This is really good. So it just comes down to what hits me at that moment at a time. If I'll get every script somebody sends me 20 pages. If it doesn't hold my interest, I just pass. I just say, guys, I got too many in my own stable, not scripts that I've written, but I've had so many people send me to them that I have the rights to now. I've got about 20 scripts in the Sorbo Studios vault that I want to get done. The biggest obstacle is always raising money. I do movies in the $3 to $4 million range. That's catering budget on Pirates of the Caribbean. Those are 300 movies. So how do you get this movie made on that kind of budget? How do you raise that? I mean, I do good movies, good family movies that people are asking me to do when they stop me in airports and hotel lobbies. And I'm going, it's weird that Hollywood's able to throw hundreds of millions of dollars at movies that fail over and over again. Wink, wink, Disney Studios, they're going to lose about $1 billion this year. How do I get this money raised? It's always been luck and timing and a God thing, I guess. I mean, it's just, it's a frustrating road, but I'm always working, trying to raise money. I'm always trying to reach out to people that love my movies and say, I'd like to work with you sometime, but it's not easy. I've got the ones I want to do, so it's very hard for me to look at new scripts right now.
And what have you found is the secret to raising money?
Begging, groveling. No, I don't know. It's just a matter of being in the right place at the right time. And this movie, Sam and I spoke at an event in Palm Springs, and afterwards there was like 400 people there. And afterwards they started raising hands and asking questions. The Q&A was longer than our speeches. And I talked about how difficult it is to raise money. And it's frustrating because I meet very wealthy people. I'm an avid golfer. I've golfed with billionaire guys that are like-minded like me. And I say, you're worth this much money. $3 million is like, $300 to me. That's what $3 million is to you. But it's not what I do. And I go, but we have a culture war going on, and I do movies that have good family values in it, and you want that. So I don't know why you wouldn't support it. You'll get your money back. And it just doesn't happen. It's weird. I've never lost anybody their money yet. I'm smart enough to be able to get it out theatrically somehow, and then in streaming that they're going to get their $3 million back. But it's not easy. It's a tough road to find that money. I'm not going to lie about it. But when Sam and I spoke at this one event, this guy walked up to me afterwards. I was signing my books. He said, I got this much money, slip of paper. I looked at it, and he said, can you make a movie out of it? I said, yes, I can. And that's how this movie was made.
So now could you amp it up a little bit and do the same thing with a $30 million movie, or is that your sweet spot, $3 or $4 million?
Yeah, the trouble with when you get above 10 million, when you start getting that $15 million range, you're looking at probably 40 to 50 million just to break even. Because of the P&A money you put in, and the money you got to split with the studio, and the money you got to split with the theaters. I mean, you got to make a lot of money to break even on that. And a lot of movies, when they get in that 15, 20, 30 million range, they don't get their money back. It's just tough. I mean, you look at this latest one from Indiana Jones, $280 million, whatever it was, and 100 million promotion. That movie's going to lose at least 100 to $200 million. They're not going to get their money back.
Hey, what did you think of what happened with this Sound of Freedom? Wasn't that crazy?
It's great. I mean, speaking of a $15 million movie, that's what their movie was.
Yeah.
And that they had to buy it back from Disney because Disney was stupid enough not to do anything with it. So they were that type that needed to get the $50 million. But they had two things in their favor. Number one, Angel Studios brought them in.
Right.
Angel Studios, because of The Chosen and the tens of millions of dollars that fans have brought. They talk to those same fans. They got millions of people on their social media, and they say, support this movie. This is about human trafficking. It's a true story. Support it. They went out and bought tickets. They said, look, I'm going to buy 20 tickets and for people that can't go to the theater so they can go. Hollywood came out, which is amazing to me. So I thought this is one place Hollywood's got to agree on. They got to agree that child sex trafficking is horrible. Apparently, they're all for it. So I don't know if Hollywood's a bunch of pedophiles or what.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, they came out and went against it. Well, there's plenty of atheists and agnostics and non-religious people out there that believe that sex trafficking is horrible. So they supported the movie, said, well, screw you, Hollywood. We're going to support this. So that movie needed to get the 50 million to break even. They made 175 million, and it's going to make more. I mean, they're now overseas. I don't know what the big plan is. I bet that movie makes $250 million worldwide. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were involved in that movie for some time, marketing that, and Neil Harmon actually came by the homestead here.
Sure.
Twice? Twice he came by, and their business model is just unbelievable. I just love it. It's talking about between Angel Studios and now Taylor Swift shaking things up. It's just crazy what's going on. It's so exciting, though, for independence with all of this shakeup going on, because at the end of the day, all these guys want to do is to get butts in the seats and sell popcorn. So
yeah, they don't care what they show. They don't care what they show. And I wish Angel Studios, maybe we should have gone to them. It would have been great if they jumped on board our movie, because it's a good family movie. So I don't know. We're hoping that people will pay it forward by just telling 10 other people to go to SorboStudios.com, and I hope it just multiplies on itself.
So looking down the road to where things are going and where you all want to go, what's the next big thing that you and Sam are dreaming up that you just got that you just got to do, that you have a passion for? Because how many movies have you done now?
Well, Actually, personally, not the ones that I directed or I've acted in over 80 movies myself.
Okay.
And I mentioned I got four that we're hoping to film those over the next year, but I got 4 other ones in post-production right now.
So what is your big dream passion project between the two of you?
I've got one that we're still trying to look funds for. Like, there's 2 actually. I got a Western with Neil McDonald. And Neil was in my last movie that came out in January called Left Behind: Rise of the Antichrist, based on the Left Behind books from Jerry Jenkins and Tim LaHaye. I got a Western from Neil that's in the vein of Yellowstone. It's Yellowstone violent, but it's a Cain and Abel story. So it's an amazing script that Neil wrote with his writing partner. And then I've got another one that deals with the last temptation of Christ. And in that one, I'd be playing Satan, and I hope it comes through because it's an amazing, amazing story. And the way Satan is written and the way I would play it is that I think this is the way Satan operates. He's a very charming individual. He's very persuasive, as we know. So I think I'm hoping that it's called The Messiah. I hope this movie gets made.
So when it comes right down to it, let me ask you this. You have had an amazing run. You have an amazing family, an amazing wife. Why do you think God has given you all these wonderful things and the wonderful family, wonderful wife, and wonderful opportunities?
It's I've been a Christian my whole life. I grew up in a Lutheran household in Minnesota. So my father was a very strong-willed man with all 5 of his kids. And I think that I inherited that, where I'm very focused on what I want to do and I go after it. And I don't care if there's failure involved, because failure is part of life and failure is a positive instead of a negative. And that's the biggest problem with most people, most young people today. They fail once and they give up, and they'd rather have a government take care of them the rest of their lives and blame God and blame the rest of the world for their problems. But the door that really opened up for me with working with all people was Dallas Jenkins back in 2010. I did a movie called What If? And it was written by the same guys who did God's Not Dead. In my book, What If is a superior movie, much better movie. But once again, how do you get independent movies out when you shoot a movie for $2 million? You can't have a $100 million advertising budget. So What If really opened the door for me to want to do more movies like that. And I would say the last 12 years, that's pretty much the road I've been on. And I'm going to keep doing that. I like positive things. I like movies that have redemption, movies that have hope, movies that have laughter, things that Hollywood used to do and don't do anymore. And I'm going to keep, pushing. I'm doing a lot of documentary. I just spent, last year I was in Israel for 3 weeks. Through archaeological digs, we traced the Ark of the Covenant. That's coming out later this year. It's called The Quest for the Throne. I've got a follow-up to a production company called Ingenuity Films, run by Brent Miller. Ingenuity is awesome. I did a documentary called Before the Wrath with them, dealing with the Second Coming. It was the #1 documentary a couple of years ago on Amazon for 5 months. And we just did the follow-up coming out next year, probably around Easter, which makes sense because it's about the Last Supper, and it's called Eating with the Enemy. And it's an amazing, amazing documentary. And I love these things. I love these educational, because we've taken education out of public education, and we got to get kids to understand what this country is like, what the history of the world is like. We're trying to erase history right now by tearing down statues and all. I mean, every country has good and bad history, and to sit there and try to hide from it or make it go away makes no sense to me. So I'm going to keep doing documentaries as well. I enjoy it. It's a road I never thought I'd go down, for sure.
And how are the kids doing?
Kids are doing great. My 22-year-old Brayden has now just finished his 8th movie. And Shane, my other son, now is doing a lot of modeling, but he's done 4 movies himself. And I wasn't surprised to kind of follow the road I was on, because we are homeschooled and they grew up on movie sets. So by the time they were 13 and 11 years old, they came to me and said, we want to act. And when we were still living in LA at that time, a friend of mine was running an acting class just 3 miles down the road from us in Thousand Oaks. So they were in that school for like 3 years, and they've done quite a good job. And my 22-year-old is getting really good. He's really committed to it, which is good.
And what is the best advice that you have been able to give them as they follow in your footsteps?
Pretty much the same advice my dad said when I dropped out of college with just 1 quarter yet to go to get my double degree in business. He just said, don't give up. Don't let anyone set you limitations. You're going to go after this, and this is where your heart and your passion is. Then make it your heart and make it your passion. And Another friend of mine, when I moved from my little small town in Minnesota, when I moved out to LA, he said, remember, Sorbs, it's called show business, not show. And I got out there and I treated it like a business. And I took my marketing and advertising double major and marketed and advertised myself, because you're your own product in this industry. And every time I heard about an audition, I bugged my manager and agent, because they'd say, well, I got other clients too. I can't get you all in there. I said, I don't give a crap about your other clients. I said, give me the chance to get in the door and get rejected. Just give me that chance, is what I said. So I pounded the pavement and I treated show business like a business.
Oh, that's great. Well, listen, I really appreciate your time, my friend. This has been a good catch up. I can't wait to come down and actually see you. Are you going to be in Nashville anytime soon?
We're hoping to get to NRB. We're hoping to get there next year. I know I got a little overlap there. I got a thing going on with the Navy SEALs. A hunting thing where I got invited with my two boys in the South Carolina mountains. It's going to be pretty interesting. But I do want to bring it up since you're in Nashville. You know, all these years I've been doing these Comic-Con shows. A lot of people come to my table now. They want photos, autographs of me from God's Not Dead and Soul Surfer.
Oh, yeah.
And things like that. So I said, why are we not doing a sort of a faith Comic-Con? So I'm doing one in Seaverville in May, just on the little knock. So I'd love you to come out and be part of it. I recommend everybody right now to go to riseupcon.com. That's riseupcon.com. You can see the people we have already coming, the actors. These are actors that have been in other movies as well, but these are actors that have done a lot of faith movies, like Dennis Quaid will be there. Zach Levy's going to be there. Dean Cain's going to be there. John Schneider's going to be there. We're going to have a couple music acts performing. We're going to show about four movies while we're there as well. We're going to have a charity golf event raising money for good causes. So riseupcon.com. I'm very excited to be doing this. And it's going to be May 29th, 30th, and June 1st, those 3 days next year.
It's funny. You give me that lineup of all the guys. I think most of those guys have left California too.
They have.
Is anybody left out there?
You know, I just reached out to Gary Sinise, told me to show up. Gary's living in Nashville now as well.
Yes, he is.
You know,
it's crazy.
Well, it's just insane what they've done to it. You know, my good friend Scott Baio left. He lives on the other side of Florida here. So it's what's amazing to me is how hypocritical the left is, and the stuff that they do. Like Governor Newsom can't figure out why over the last 10 years, 6 million people left the state of California. Really, you can't figure it out? It's amazing to me. It's got to be a weird sickness. I can't explain it other way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to your movie coming out, Miracles in East Texas. And once again, where can we find tickets?
Right now, go to sorbostudios.com, sorbostudios.com. And the reason I send you there is because it's got all kinds of information, other things going on. You can still go to miracleineasttexas.com as well. Both places see the trailer, turn in your zip code, and you'll right away find out about what theater's showing near you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, my friend. Great catching up with you.
All right. All the best, David. Take care.
And thanks a lot, Kevin. Kevin Sorbo has been my guest today on CIA Contagious Influencers of America from the producers of Keep the Faith. Please do support Kevin and Sam in this new movie. It comes out October 29th and 30th for 2 nights only. And you can check out tickets at sorbostudios.com. That's SORBO Studios.com, and be sure to get those tickets because they're going fast. That's October 29th and 30th. The movie is called Miracle in East Texas. This has been CIA, Contagious Influencers of America. You can check out our website at contagiousinfluencers.com, where you're going to find all kinds of episodes from really all kinds of great guests over the years. And of course, our radio show website is at KeepTheFaith.com, where you'll find all kinds of goodies. I'm David Sams. I'll see you soon right here. And remember to go out there and live that life in living color, because it sure is a heck of a lot more interesting than living in black and white. I'll see you next time.